Speaking of the draft, the Commanders with the win against the Eagles, with the way things fell into place yesterday, they ended up with the 7th pick in the draft. They could have had as high as the 5th pick in the draft. Does that upset you? I know EB wants to weigh in. This is something we talked a lot about last week.
For sure.
Whether you wanted the team to win or not, whether you were a tanker down the stretch. They shut down Jaden Daniels the last few games of the season. Actually, the last 4 games, right? Basically shut him down for the last 4 games of the season.
Yeah, and Max Crosby, they did the same thing with the Raiders, just a couple of games later.
One would imagine you would have won more games had Jaden Daniels played.
I think so. You know me, I'm definitely not a tanker, but there is a percentage of people that when the season starts to go sideways, they just want to punch. Now, some will want to do it in like week 11 or 12. Some will want to wait till week 15 or 16. That's fine. And even if yesterday, if they had lost, it would be fine. But I personally would like to see the win because, and here I'm going to make my case here. I don't think there's a big difference between the 5th and the 7th pick. And let me explain this. Obviously, when you pick 5th, you have more choices than if you pick 7th, right? No doubt. But we all know that it's not a linear thing. We all know that player evaluation is wildly inconsistent. If you win, for example, the World Series of Poker, it's a little different, but let me just make a parallel. You know you're getting $10 million. You come in second, you know you're getting 7. You finish the third, take away ties, etc. You come to third, and forgive me, Cakes, for not having the numbers accurate. You finish in third, you get $5 million. You finish in fourth, you get $4 million. There's no debating it. Finishing first is way better than finishing second. You get $3 million more than second. With player evaluation and drafts, in all of the drafts, even the NBA, where it's like really top heavy, in all of these drafts, especially in the NFL, I don't have to go through all of the examples where in 2018 Baker goes number 1 and Lamar Jackson goes much later and Josh Allen goes later and Kyler Murray goes 1 and you could have got Max Crosby in the 4th. We all know those examples. Mm-hmm. And that's because it happens every year. Player evaluation is a wildly inconsistent deal. And if you could say that the first pick is always better than the second pick, is always better than the third pick, is always better than the 4th pick, is always better than the 5th player, then you would have the argument. And I would say you're 100% correct. But I think you can make the argument that there's really no difference between picking 5th and 7th because scheme matters, fit matters, your evaluation matters, and the Redskins/Commanders will be just fine. We are going to get great players. Let me give you a couple numbers. There are 257 players drafted each year.
That's right.
You know how many make the Hall of Fame? On average, 4 to 5. Okay? So you're not going to get a Hall of Famer. You're just not.
The odds
4
are
out of
against
32 are going to get a Hall of Famer. So you're not going to get a Hall of Famer. You might get a Pro Bowler if you're lucky, maybe 1, because on average, 20 to 25 players on any given draft eventually go to a Pro Bowl. Okay? 20. What you're shooting for is the 80 long-term starters out of a 257-player draft. That's what you got to do. You got to nail and get as many of those long-term starters as you can. Now, are you shooting for Pro Bowlers? Absolutely. Do more Pro Bowlers go in the first round than the second round? Yes. But you can also find them in the 5th round, in the 6th round, in the 7th round. You can find Hall of Famers, 14% actually go to the Pro Bowl, or long-term starters that are undrafted. Mm-hmm. So you can find them anywhere.
You could find starters in the 7th round.
So if you're sitting here today and you think it's catastrophic that they dropped from the 5th pick to the 7th, you can have that opinion, but I don't think it's a complete story.
It's not catastrophic.
It's not catastrophic, and you're very likely to get a better player at 7 than you get at 5 when we look at this 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the road.
Right, depending on how you evaluate them.
It's not a big deal.
And how you use them.
Right.
No, 100%. And also, you could, whenever you list your players on your draft board, well, other teams have different needs than you.
Right.
So those top 3 teams right now, they do need quarterbacks. Yeah. All right. I'm not saying they're all going to take them. I mean, the Raiders are definitely going to take Mendoza. Mm-hmm. I'd put money on that. But who knows what the Jets and what the Cardinals are going to do. But they do need quarterbacks. So your guy could still fall to you based on what other teams need, and those players aren't on your draft board.
Could.
Because there's no way Mendoza and Dante Moore and Ty Simpson, guys like that, are on the Redskins draft board. not that high.
They're not. But where it does hurt you falling from 5 to 7 is the 5th pick is just more attractive to other teams if you want to
trade
move
out.
down.
Sure.
If you want to move down the board, and if one of those quarterbacks slips and there's a team that wants to go up to 5 instead of 7, then you're in a better position by having that 5th pick instead of the 7th pick. I used to be very much in the you got to tank no matter what. But then over the last couple of years, I've softened on it because I realized that coaches, they're coaching to win. Players like Josh Johnson, who very rarely get any opportunities to play, they're going out there to play to win the game. So even if your front office is like gung-ho on getting that 5th pick, you can't go to the coach and say, you gotta toss, punt this game away.
Yeah.
He's going to tell him to go F himself. And
players are never going to do that.
Play to win.
No.
Maybe you could do it in a game like yesterday.
The only way you would do that is if you'd start Sam Hartman.
Right. Then you're
and then
you
pull all your practice squad guys up and you're benching Rodriguez.
But we have people that want to do this in like week 12.
Terry.
They just want to do that in week 12. Play Hartman in week 12.
Yeah, I know.
It is a Victory Monday presented by Chiniga Mayos, the 2026 top workplace. Visit careers with MIOS.com. The win meant that they draft number 7. Here's the difference between pick 5 and pick 7. This is according to Grant Paulson, a tweet that he had out yesterday. According to the Jimmy Johnson draft chart, which became very famous, the difference between pick 5 and pick 7 is 200 points. The estimated, the approximate value of that is a mid-third round pick. So that's pretty valuable. A third-round pick that the Commanders will not have. That's assuming you were able to trade it. I also would say that I agree with everything you said, but sometimes, the number 5 pick can be a lot more valuable. You go back to when they took Sean Taylor at 5. Would they have been able to take him at 7? Maybe not. And then if you look at who got drafted at 6 and 7, I went back and looked at it. I mean, Kellen Winslow became just a nightmare. Mostly because of off the field stuff.
Yeah.
He's and then I think the wide receiver Roy Williams went 7. Was it to the Cowboys, Roy Williams?
Well, sure. There are some times where Joe Burrow goes 1, and he's the best player, and he would have only gone 1. But there are just as many other cases where you could find other players all over.
Here's the way that I look at it.
They're everywhere.
The first few picks are going to be quarterbacks, most likely.
You don't even need one.
So they're going to have a chance to get a top 5 defensive player because I'm sorry, I don't care. I don't care if Jeremiah Love's there. I don't care. They have to. This is where their defense.
You can't draft a running back at 7 with all their defensive deficiencies.
Right. Here's where their defense finished on the year. Dead last.
They can't.
So the Bengals were 32nd, but after week 18, after this last game, they finished dead effing last, giving up 384 yards per game. In points per game, a little bit better.
Not a lot.
Gave up 26.5 points per game. That was 27th in the league. Remember that they wanted to address the run. That's why they brought in Kinlaw. The reason that they weren't able to advance to the Super Bowl last year was they just couldn't stop Saquon. That was like 3 games. They couldn't stop Saquon. So they were like, we got to get better against the run. They finished 30th against the run. Giving up 141.6 yards per game against the run. And then against the pass, slightly better, 28th. So that's where their defense finished this year.
They have to, and they're so bad on defense that it literally doesn't matter what position. I have zero preference. They have to pick. They have to find. And there will be one picked probably from 7 on. They have to find that guy who's Micah Parsons, who's Myles Garrett, who's, you name a guy, doesn't matter the position, game wrecker defensively. Max Crosby, whoever it is.
It could be Caleb Downs.
Maybe it is.
I'm intrigued by Caleb Downs. Like, people have said that maybe he's the best defensive player. He's a safety.
Yep.
Now, here's what I saw yesterday, which was interesting about the Steelers Ravens game last night. And it was the value of Hamilton, their safety, right? Warren Sharp had this stat. He ends up leaving the game in the third quarter. Was he officially concussed, Valdez? I know he went into the blue tent, so he suffered a concussion, and he didn't play. Well, prior to him being injured, the Steelers' offense was averaging 3.9 yards per play, 37% success. This is according to Warren Sharp. After Hamilton was injured, 6.9 yards per play, 60% success rate. You can go into EPA and stuff like that. And so initially I would think, well, I would rather have a pass rusher. But I'm with you, EB. You get the best guy, and if it's Caleb Downs, then you get Caleb Downs. It's a safety, and maybe that's a safety that's going to completely change your defense.
And by the way, they need safeties.
They need everything.
They do. Yeah. With the 7th pick, as I just said, there's only on average 20 to 25 Pro Bowlers. They got to find one. With that 7th pick, they got to find a Pro Bowler. Don't miss it.
Well, these are the positions they're not going to take. All right, they're not taking a wide receiver. They're not taking a tight end. They do need a tight end. They're not taking an RB. They're not taking an offensive lineman. They're not taking a corner. So, and everything else is in play.
You encouraged by Johnny Newton the last couple weeks?
He's been here for 4 years, 3 years.
Hey, what do you think of that Ben Sinnott false start penalty?
I mean,
Sinnott.
Yeah.
Oh,
he has been your punching
he's my
bag.
guy. He's always in the crosshairs.
I think Sinnott is going to turn out to just be a guy in a sense that I don't think he's going to be a 3-year NFL player. I think he'll probably play 8 or 10 years, but yeah, he's not a game changer.
Sadly, Bates is better.
Yeah, they feature Bates more. He doesn't jump off sides.
No, they need
a false start.
They do need they got 75 needs. One of them being a elite tight end.
Do you want your last 10 picks at number 7?
I would like to hear them.
I mean, I think it's so dumb, but sure.
DeForest Buckner, 49ers.
Stud.
Mike Williams, Chargers.
Good, but injury prone.
Yeah.
Josh Allen.
Not a stud.
Who?
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Oh, massive hit.
Then another Josh Allen, the pass rusher.
Stud.
Very good.
Derek Brown, Panthers.
He's
really good.
He's a mountain of a man. He's gonna be the highest paid defensive tackle when his deal comes up.
Penei Sewell, Lions.
Stud.
Evan Neal, Giants.
Injured a lot, but a good player.
Tyree Wilson, Raiders.
Massive dud.
See, to me, you just got to pick. You got to look at
J.C.
anybody from
Latham.
7 down.
J.C. Latham, Titans. And this year, Armand Membu from the Jets.
Offensive tackle from Penn State.
Yep.
They have to get. They're going to be a ton of great players in this draft. Okay, they gotta identify the best they can defensively and nail it.
Here's what they can't do.
It's the best offensive lineman.
They can't.
They can't have Cliff whispering in Adam's ear.
Cliff,
like we've all seen the video
Cliff,
of.
if you're here, you're going to sit this one out.
We've all seen the video of the Ben Sinnott draft, like behind the scenes, and like Cliff's talking to Adam, and then Adam's like talking to DQ. What do you think?
Was he
DQ's on board.
whispering
Josh Harris is behind him. We've seen them do the same thing, like Connerly. Right, Connerly was a Cliff Kingsbury guy.
That was his guy, yeah.
They gotta. If Cliff is back, they gotta keep him out of the room.
Was Cliff whispering?
Cliff, you're not allowed in the draft room.
Was he whispering? I gotta have a backup blocking tight end. Sinnott is the guy. Make the pick.
No, can't really be that.
They can't let him in the war room.
Yes, deactivate
Right, but
his card.
Peters makes the picks.
100%.
Peters makes the
as
picks.
he should be.
All right, well. Maybe you want some of the coaches making picks over Peters.
Well, you know what?
I'm just saying Peters overall makes the picks.
Wasn't there also a clip, I think this came out like last week or within 2 weeks, where they were talking about picking Sinnott, and Josh Harris is in there like, how's he going to work in tandem with Zach Ertz? You know what? Maybe Josh Harris is right.
Little common sense.
He was right.
Well, they said that's a clip I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But they all express confidence.
They just got to do a better job of acquiring, and this includes free agency.
Yeah.
Because number 7's one player.
Right.
He's got to be good. Now, they're going to get a really good college player there. But they got to do a better job of acquiring overall better players than they have in the last 2 years. From top to bottom, including the draft and free
let's
agency.
go through the ones that you're considering whiffs. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, Sinnott whiff.
Well, I mean, Sinnott, I think Sinnott's a big whiff, don't you?
Huge whiff so far.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
and also trades.
Capital?
I mean, would you consider Lattimore a whiff?
I think at the end of the day, I appreciated the swing and thought it was worth it, but it did end up whiffing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it did too.
Yeah.
I think Debo
I think he was solid.
Was solid.
He was solid.
All right, but I expected him to do more.
He's like a almost tagged out double.
All right, Johnny Newton is now starting to put up some numbers, but for a year and a half, he didn't do much.
I'll be honest with you. I'm torn on the Von Miller thing.
Yeah.
We had Von on. He's great every week. Great.
Yep.
I mean, not sometimes. Sometimes he's great. But, I mean, on the whole, great.
Yes.
Nice guy. Everyone likes
He
him.
was really good last
He
week.
finished with 9 sacks. They were the 9 quietest sacks. And I rooted for him. Every time he got one, I fist pumped. I think yesterday he made $500,000.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
You don't want your leading.
they were not that very.
They weren't.
I'm not sure any of them were impactful.
Well, now,
It's hard to be impactful when you're playing on the 30th ranked defense in the
Yeah.
league.
to be
Yeah, so in
fair,
other words,
30th, 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
to be
my
fair,
bad.
2 of their edge guys were hurt for most of the year,
For sure.
if not all of the year.
For sure.
But Sanders still has been just okay.
He's been okay.
In
But
my
I think
opinion.
he'll be a starter, but he's not going to be a star.
Right.
That's the
And he
thing. They
might
have
be a starter for another year.
contributors. They don't have stars. Like if you go back, Sanders still, Coleman, Sinnott, McCaffrey. They're on the team.
Dayton's a star.
Yeah.
I think.
Jordan McGee.
should be a star. He
Maybe
picked number
shown some
2.
flashes.
Yeah, he better
Should
be.
hit there.
Next year's a big year for him.
Jordan McGee is a fast guy, but I'm not sure.
And then this year, Connerly, I think, came on.
Solid.
He'll be a piece.
Solid.
Amos looked okay.
I think it's good to be good. But they need more.
Tankathon.com, by the way, has the Commanders taking Downs at the number 7 pick, and they have them taking an offensive lineman at 71 out of Penn State.
If the
Oh, I'm sorry, they have an edge rusher. He's an edge rusher. I misread that.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
back-to-back
think he's taking
defensive
offensive
picks.
line.
That makes sense to me.
Yep.
And look, that's why you might bring back a guy like Debo. That's why they might bring him back.
Maybe-
You're not going to give
maybe
him $30 million a year, but you might bring him back because you have.
He's not getting $30 million a year anyway.
No way.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm just making a
He's
point.
getting a number that starts with a 2, though.
He might.
I don't know.
I bet
don't
you
know.
he doesn't. He's
I
not
don't
getting
think so.
$20
I don't know.
million.
The,
No
Oh,
chance.
I
The
think
fact is, they have so many holes, they're not going to plug them all.
He's going to hit
Yeah.
the open market, and he's going to get if De'Ami
I'll
Brown,
take that bet. $5. He does not get a $20 million.
Okay.
You're talking $20 million a year?
$20 million per.
I don't
No
think he's doing that.
chance.
De'Ami Brown got $13
$5.
million. You think
Oh, he got
Debo-
overpaid.
You think Debo's not
He
going
got
to get
overpaid.
$20 million?
Debo has
Debo's
put up the
not getting
numbers to get
$20 million.
Put it in the book, Valdez. That's the first
No,
bet
you're-
of 2026. A $5 bet.
Nice.
Debo gets $20+ million per year.
Well,
I've never been more secure.
he's not getting 20 plus from Washington.
Oh, I don't think it's going to happen
No
here.
chance.
But some team is going to overpay Debo Samuel.
Well, if that happens, then he won't be back.
I mean, he made $17.5 million this year. You think he's going backwards?
Yes, he's
I
getting
don't think
older. He's getting older, and his numbers weren't great.
Somebody's going to pay him that money.
I think he
Telling
goes
I disagree.
backwards.
I don't think that's going to
He
happen.
had 72 catches, 5 touchdowns, receiving, rushing just didn't give
The
you that
rushing
much.
thing was a big dud.
Rushing
I thought,
only gave you 75 and 1.
I thought he would rush for like literally 300, 350 yards. Way too high on that.
All right, when we come back, what do you want to see them do in the draft on defense? Does it matter to you what position?
No.
I will tell you, Jason's guy,
Gotta be
Jason mentioned the guy from Miami, Bain, stud.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Stud.
Game record.
He'll go top 10.
So I'm cool with Bain or Downs.
The kid from Texas Tech, Bailey.
He's got to find a star.
The kid from Texas Tech, Bailey, stud.
1-800-636-1067. We're the Junkies. Coming right back.